Hello, everyone. We are live and welcome to the weekly show of What is School For? My name is Dr. I'm the CEO of Classroom Without Words and the host of this weekly live streaming show. On this show, I interview leading education professionals, teachers, students, young entrepreneurs, older entrepreneurs, business leaders to come here. We discuss, debate, and disrupt education. The goal is to future proof the next generation. Today, I'm extremely honored and excited to have a young entrepreneur on the show, Seth Raphael, to talk about his journey as a full time high schooler to disrupt education through coding and how he started his own company, LinkJoin, which we are going to discuss in greater detail later on the show. So I'm really excited to learn more about his journey and his perspective on education and what needs to be disrupted, and of course, how he started a company at such a young age. So really excited for today's interview. And as always, a big shout out to StreamYard for being a sponsor of the show. Over the last 5 years, I tried all the third-party tools to go live on social media. StreamYard is my personal favorite. So in the comment section, there's a link that allows you to check out StreamYard for free for 2 weeks. Check it out and let me know if you have any questions. And also, we are live on all the social media channels from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch. And I also want to invite you guys to join us live on Amazon Live. And you can see the link on the screen. If you join us live on Amazon Live, you can see a list of books that I have personally reviewed and curated for you, and books related to disruptive education, the problems with the current education model, parenting, homeschooling, leadership books. And so check it out and join us live on Amazon Live. So without any further ado, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, honor. We already have quite a few people here. So everyone, let me know in the comment section where you guys are joining us live from, social media wise and geographically speaking. I just love seeing the names from different countries, and that's why I love live streaming so much. So I want to kick off. As I mentioned earlier, Seth. So the show is called. We discuss what is school for, right? We discuss, debate, disrupt education. So why don't we start the show by talking a little bit about your experience as a student, a high schooler. What is something you love the most, and what is something you love the least about your schooling experience?
So, some things that I really like about school is the social environment. That was something that I really struggled with during virtual learning, where I couldn't just be hanging out with my friends, talking with them all the time. I was sort of quarantined behind the screen. That was really difficult for me, and I'm so glad that we're back in person now and I can get that real social experience. And there's something at my school that we have called Academy, which is this really cool sort of period where you can go to any classes that you need help with, or just go there to review something or learn more. And it's built into the school day, so you don't have to come early or stay after school. And it's a really, really nice way to incorporate extra learning into the school day the way the student needs it. And then some things that I dislike about school are, well, homework. Everyone dislikes homework. But really, I struggle with having restrictions on more advanced classes. I've been trying to take AP chemistry next year as a sophomore, and I'm really getting a lot of backlash from the school, or pushback, where they really don't want me to take it. And a lot of other students experience this too, where it's difficult to move ahead at your own pace and you're restricted to what the school thinks is best for you.
Oh, very interesting. And I want to unpack this a little bit. So first, you say that, like nobody really likes homework. And so can you tell me why? I asked this question because I have three children. So two are like, one is an infant, the other two kids I homeschool them. And I have to say that my children, the ones that I homeschool them, they enjoy doing homework. So I want to hear like what is it about, not their homework is now the traditional school-based homework. So you are now the first student who told me like, I don't like homework. And in fact, I think I shared this study on the show quite a few times. It came out last year. It was a big study conducted by Yale University, and they mentioned in the study 75%, if not 85%, of high schoolers hate. They literally hate their school. I was like, wow, that is either 75 or 85%. It was a high percentage, and they were talking about homework. So, what is it about the homework that you guys just like, why am I doing this? So can you share that more with us?
So in high school, especially, there's a lot of important social life and activities that go on outside of school, where you have these other activities, other commitments, possibly jobs, and homework really interferes with that. Like we're at school for us from 8 to 3 every day, which is a lot of time, and then we still have more work to do after school, where often it's just busy work. There's a lot of times where homework is really just stuff that the teacher assigns to keep you busy rather than to actually have you learn something. And there are some cases like outside projects or research projects where you are learning something from the homework, and that I don't mind as much. But just filling out a worksheet or doing something that takes a while but you don't really learn from, that I really don't like because it just seems so pointless and time consuming.
Yeah, I so agree. I absolutely agree. And I think if I could have a magic wand, I would definitely, eliminate homework. And the second point you mentioned that you don't like so much about school is the restrictions on taking advanced classes. And can you elaborate more on that? So why, like I thought you mentioned, there were AP classes, but you are not allowed to take some of the AP classes. And share with us, like, why is that? And how has that affected your interest in learning, your personal and professional growth?
So at my school, they really want you to follow a set path where for science, for example, they want you to take biology, then chemistry, then AP chemistry, then some kind of physics. And the way that path is set up really doesn't make sense to me because I want to take two AP physics classes, AP Physics 1 and C. And to do that, I would need to take just regular chemistry. But I really love chemistry, as you might be able to tell from my periodic table in the
I did.
So I had really wanted to take AP chemistry to advance my knowledge, and because I think that chemistry would be a little bit basic. And the school does not like that. They really want you to only take these AP science classes as a junior or a senior. And it really negatively affects the students when they can't take classes that are at their level. And I've had that same kind of pushback with math. I'm about 1 or 2 years ahead of my grade in math right now with a few of my friends. And it's hard to get there because they don't want you to be able to get these credits from outside courses applied to the school. They don't want you to move ahead. And it just seems really counterintuitive if they want students to learn.
I hear you, right? So like if I have learned to start so after I shared a little bit with you about my story, so I quit my college professor job. I started my own company, and there was so much I had to learn how to run a business, this and that. So if I had to take this linear path, business 101, business 102, oh my God, I would have failed my business since day one. So because learning is not linear, so I think that is really a valid point that you shared, how like learning just, you will need something, but that the thing you need doesn't really necessarily follow this linear fashion. So very interesting. So how did you go from there? You love chemistry and all those things. So how did you discover your passion for coding? I saw on LinkedIn you have very impressive, like you learn a lot about different computer languages, about coding. So how did you discover that?
So it's really a weird story. It starts with me breaking my finger, which is it sounds very unrelated, but this is what happened. I broke my finger and I couldn't write anymore because I broke the pinky on my right hand. And because of that, I got access to a computer in school so that I could type instead of writing. And then I was bored in school. I was in these classes, I was not doing very much sometimes in class, just had some downtime. And I had a computer, so I decided, hey, why not try and learn some Python? So I went into these online code editors, tried fooling around with some Python code, and I realized that it was really fun. Now, this was in 7th grade, right before the COVID epidemic and eventually pandemic happened. And in the end of 7th grade, we had to go virtual. So when that happened, I had a lot of free time. And over that summer, I asked my parents to enroll me in a Python programming course, which I devoured. I finished it in, I think, just a couple of weeks, maybe a little over a month. And I just discovered that I really, really loved coding. So I kept moving forward, building projects for myself and making things that my friends could use. And I just really discovered a passion for it and found that I loved doing it.
Wow, that's amazing. So how many, so are you taking lots of coding related class outside school, like just kind of on your own?
Not really. I am technically enrolled in a JavaScript class, but that is really on pause right now while I'm focusing more on LinkJoin, my company. And eventually I'm probably going to get back into it, but I'm really not in it right now. And at my school, they do have AP Computer Science A, which I am trying hard to take next year. But again, I have that pushback where they really don't want me to take it until I'm a junior or a senior. So it's possible that I won't get it next year and then I'll have to wait longer to take it. But I'm definitely going to be moving forward with learning more about coding in organized fashion.
Yeah, definitely. I think the good news with coding is that I feel like there are lots of online resources, like online classes you can probably take on your own. But then of course there's you have the school, right? Homework, all the things. So time, where do you get time? It seems like you are a self-paced learner. You prefer self-directed learning. Is that how you prefer to learn, or like a teacher kind of guide you, walk you through everything?
It's sort of a combo. The way that I learned to code was really just through teaching myself. I would use Google, I'd use some assorted coding tutorials, and I just piece the knowledge together. But in terms of school and classes like that, I really think that an organized approach is better. Just because I have ADHD and it's hard to regulate myself on tasks sometimes, where I have trouble budgeting my time. I'll find it difficult to decide what to do and when to do it, and then I'll end up doing nothing at all. So having some regulation is good, but not too much that you don't actually have control over what you're doing.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I love how you say, learning is best when you learn when it's like driven by interest. Yeah. So from your passion for coding, so how did you go from there, learning all the computer language classes to developing LinkJoy? So first of all, tell us a little bit more about what is LinkJoy, and how did you get started developing this?
So it all started when I was in virtual learning. I was very uh, disorganized and I couldn't figure out how to get to my classes on time because I would always have the problem where I'd be sitting at my computer ready to get on class and then I'd get sidetracked doing something else. And before I knew it, I was 5 or 10 minutes late to class. And this would happen multiple classes every single day, which really was detrimental to my learning and the teacher teaching the class because I'd come in and be disruptive when I joined and she had to let me in. So I created LinkJoin as a solution to that. And it started off as just a simple little program on my computer where I put in my links, my class links, and I put in their times and days, and it automatically opened them in the web browser at the right time. And it really, really worked. I was not late to my classes anymore. I was very productive, and I was able to get there on time, which was really important to me. And I wanted to share it with my friends. So I tried just sending my code over to them. And it didn't really work because it's just sending over a file, hoping that they can copy and paste it correctly. So I ended up turning it into a website. I was trying to take a web development class at the time, and I really thought that this could supplement my knowledge and help me learn and grow as a programmer while also solving a problem that I and many others had. So I applied my knowledge, I turned it into a website, and that sort of got it to where it is today, a website that organizes and automatically opens virtual meetings and classes.
This is fascinating, amazing. So, are you a one-person show? Like, just did you kind of just figure out everything on your own?
Yeah, I took a few foundational classes with Python and then HTML, CSS, really web development skills. But other than that, I've really been on my own when I'm learning how to code. I'll just pull various resources from places, Stack Overflow, Google, GitHub, all these places that I've code to learn from and grow from. And I'll just bundle it all together and use it to push forward.
That's amazing. How long did they? So those classes that you took, are those classes like at school, or you just like kind of discovered them online from YouTube, all those things?
So I'm part of something called John Hopkins CTY, or the Center for Talented Youth, as they call it. And it has all these different classes, these really good classes that give you foundational knowledge into different topics. They have math, science, English, and most importantly, coding. And that's where I learned my Python, my HTML, CSS, all of those skills, and I was able to build on them from there.
That's amazing. How did you discover this program?
I think my mom found it. Or a friend of ours had told my mom about it, who told me about it, and then I had to take a test to get in. I got in, and now I have access to this library of classes that I can take.
Oh, I love it. I can, even though you are on the West Coast, on the East Coast, I could really feel your passion, your joy. That's just like the spark. That's really fascinating. And people love, amazing time management skills. I love it. So here's a question and asking you, and then it's also like kind of by and large self-taught programmer. And how do you feel about self-taught, learning on your own, taking classes versus organized learning through school and just taking traditional classes? So what do you think about that?
That's a good question. So I am a very much self-taught programmer. I took, like I said, those foundational classes, and then I really taught myself from there. I think that it really depends on the person. However you learn best, there's no universal learning style. So
Mhm.
if you learn best by finding resources and applying them on your own, or if you learn best through a standardized approach where it's very organized and timed, then whatever works for you is best. I had tried to take some Udemy courses a while ago, which is a website that has a bunch of different courses that you can pay to get for pretty cheap. And I really didn't get anywhere with them. I bought one on Python, on JavaScript, and I never used them because I just couldn't get interested in the lecture based format where I had to just watch someone else writing the code, then go and maybe write it myself. I didn't like that. So it depends on the person, but I really like self taught programming.
Yeah, you mean that you learn a little bit and then you go and apply and then you go back and now learn a little bit, like right at your own pace.
Exactly. And a benefit of self taught programming is just making projects. I really think the best way to learn is by doing, where you're trying to make something, you give yourself a goal, and then you learn what you need to do to make it. That's what I did with LinkJoin, where I had very rudimentary knowledge of web development. I learned basically all of the JavaScript that I know through making my website. And it was a great learning experience while also making a really rewarding product.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I like, I think the biggest problem that I have with the current education model, I mean, one of the biggest is that there's so much emphasis on memorization, regurgitating information. There's hardly enough emphasis on like creation, right? So I just want to, like, one of my favorite, I just want to share my screen real quick. And one of my favorite education model is this Bloom taxonomy. Have you ever heard of it, Seth?
I don't think so.
And this, I think you will love this. So this is like a hierarchy of learning. The lowest level of learning is kind of remembering. Do you feel like you do a lot of that at school? Remember, understanding, kind of regurgitating facts, information. I feel that's what homework is about. Do you agree or disagree? Feel free to disagree.
I agree with that. In like my science class, and I have to really memorize a lot of stuff and just apply it on a test, and then I never use it in that class again. And usually in math, you have to do that. But my math teacher actually happens to be really good, and he lets our class just have a lot of notes on the test and apply our knowledge on the test instead of just memorizing formulas and equations, which is really great.
That's amazing. We need more teachers like that. So I really love this model, which you were kind of talking about how you love to actually create something, which I really think creation is the highest level of learning, as you can see from this hierarchy, right? Like that is like that's how I really learned like about business everything because I actually created this business. I was like, wow, I learned so much about everything. not just sitting in the classroom, this and that. So how long did it take you to develop like LinkJoin? I'm not a coder, I have no idea. So how long did it take you to develop LinkJoin?
So I started working on it about maybe January of 2021. So it's been in the works for about a year now. And it really got functional and usable maybe March or April of 2021. And I've been building on it, adding features, and making it more secure and reliable since then. And it's grown to where it is now, where it has a whole boatload of features to make life more convenient that aren't just limited to organizing and opening meetings.
Wow, that's just so exciting. So I like it's like nothing, right? From January to April, March. It's like only a few months. That was like one semester just by yourself. So you were still a full-time student, right? So how do you juggle? How do you manage like homework, activities, and like how do you juggle everything?
So that was during the height of virtual learning. I was fully virtual and I had a lot of free time because I could just get my homework done while in class, just while my teacher was talking. And that was it. I was just doing it in class. And then once I finished all my homework, I could just work on LinkJoin in class. I would be just coding while in class. And that was often one of the reasons that I was late to school, actually, was because I would get caught up in my coding and I would forget to join. So I worked on it in all my free time. I was really just enjoying the process.
It's amazing. How old were you when you developed? Like 13-ish?
Yeah, I was 13.
That's amazing. I want to share my screen. And so here is LinkJoin, right? This is a site, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so can you kind of tell us some of the things you want to brag about, some of the cool features, and so how
Yeah,
do you make this work? Yeah.
so that's just the homepage right there. But the real magic is in the links page. You can see the my links up there. So you'll probably need to log in or make an account to get there. Yeah. But the thing with that is, it has all those different features. It has the organizing, the opening, all those different things, but it also has some things that I'm really proud of, like sorting links. And you can, let's see, you can have them open early. You can take notes on your meetings. If there's a way for me to share my screen, I can showcase that if you
Yes,
want.
I think that's better. Yeah, I'm trying to sign up. I think it would be really, show us, don't just tell us. I think that'll be really powerful. I still can't believe. Do you have any other coders helping you now, or are you still a solopreneur?
It's really just me right now. I'm working on this sort of solo and trying to build it from the ground up.
You
So
are
let's
such an
see. Is there a way for me
inspiration.
to share my screen here? I think there
Yes,
is.
you can. You should.
Share
There was like,
screen.
yeah, you should be able to.
Share screen. And I will share a window. Let's see. Where is that?
This is
Perfect.
so fun. Like, I'm just like so impressed.
So can you all see that?
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
So this is what the links page looks like. So you can see this is a sort of demo page of what a student's schedule would look like. They have their English class at 8:30 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same with math at 9:20, Spanish at 10:10. Just their classes like that. Now, let's say I want to take notes on my English class. I can go over here, click on the three dots, and then I can click on notes. Now, from there, I'll get this nice little notes pop up for English where I've been taking notes on the Oxford comma. And this is formatted just with dashes, things like that. And I can also navigate the notes for my other classes. Let's say I want to find my math notes. I just search for it, and then I get my notes for my math meeting, which is the quadratic formula, Pythagorean theorem, all that stuff. So that's one of my favorite features where you can take notes. But there's also some other stuff where, let's say I'm a teacher and I want to send my class to my students. All I have to do is go in here, click on share, and then click copy on this link. Now, when I send this link to my students, all they have to do is click it, and my class is automatically added to their LinkJoin. So they don't have to do anything. They just click a link, and then it's already there, and their class will open automatically at the right time. So there's a few other things around here where you can have the links open early. So I like having mine open right on time. You can have them open between 1 and 15 minutes early if you want, and it'll open them early just like you want it. And last thing is you can sort your links. I like having mine sorted by day and time, but they can also be sorted by day, time, or nothing at all.
I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
So I think not only students can benefit from this, right? But like working professionals, right? Like we're like like Zoom meetings every day. So everyone, right? Everyone can use this.
Yeah, it's really useful for everyone, and I've been trying to break it into the work from home market where I just professionals will be using it, maybe businesses would buy it or license out the technology to use for their employees. That's where I'm really trying to get it now.
Oh my God, everyone's just like in love with you. I know, right? Like college, and not just college, a high school kid. I think everyone who takes a Zoom class, like I'm guilty of. If I'm really in the middle of something, I'm like, should I miss my Zoom meeting, right? And I know, this is amazing. Congratulations, I agree. Thank you for joining us live, ladies. I really enjoy it. So share with us. I'm sure you make this entire thing sound so easy, right? Oh, I love coding and taking classes and here's this amazing tool. So share with us what are some like roadblocks or challenges that you had to overcome as a solopreneur, as a full-time student, like getting to where you are today. So what are some of the like the challenges, obstacles that you had to overcome, and how did you overcome them?
So for me at least, making the actual website was pretty straightforward. It was just writing some code, putting it all together, and putting it in the right place. But the hard part was getting it out there. See, it's really easy to have a great product. You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, then you're kind of stuck. There's nowhere to go from there. You just have to hope that someone notices it and get it out there. And the thing that I tried to do to overcome this was being assisted by my mom in reaching out to people on LinkedIn. I'll reach out to a lot of people that I think would really want to know about LinkJoin, would benefit from using it, or could share it with students or other people that would benefit from using it. And reaching out there has really gotten me a lot of new users and podcast opportunities and some interviews, which have boosted the users of LinkJoin.
Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. And you are just speaking my language because I think, I'm going to share my screen in a second. I think students' ability to showcase a product, to showcase their skills and talent, so important, right? I think this digital storytelling, digital story selling, those are very important skills. And I think traditionally, only when you are taking a marketing classes, you will learn this. I think this should be a fundamental class. Every single student should learn how to market yourself, right? So I call this the show me. Not just I think many people call this we're in today's show me economy. Like, show me, right? How good you are. I will share this because you really just got me excited about this thing I created. So this is, uh, let me know what you think about this. Says this is what I created, right? I think traditional school is only looking at knowledge, which is school-based learning, academic knowledge, which is important. But here, I do think life literacy and mindset are really important. So under life literacy, I have digital media literacy, which is really exactly what you were just talking about. This ability to not only create a product, but actually make this almost like a grassroots movement, right? How can you make everyone have buy-in, try this out, things like that. So I just like want to share this for a second. Yeah. So besides this, are there any other challenges that you run into? Like kind of bring this out to the market and you relied on LinkedIn, which I love. Any other challenges that you run into?
There's really just a bunch of coding issues where I'll just run into bugs, I'll have to solve them. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually switching over the back end of the website to a different service to make it faster and better at just getting things out to people. So that's a thing that I'm undertaking right now, and that is difficult. It's just a lot of bugs, a lot of things to work out under the hood. But really, it's been pretty straightforward. I love coding, I love learning from it. It's just what I do.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And I really think the purpose of education is to really help students discover, not just like the teachers cover so much in their classes, but really helping the students uncover what they're passionate about. Because once you uncover that, you're just like so hungry for learning, right? Like you're just like you want to learn all the time. Is that you?
Yeah, I really enjoy learning. I'm one of those kids who looks forward to going to school most of the time. I love to learn things and I love to be able to apply my knowledge in interesting ways.
Amazing, amazing. So how do you have lots of your friends try this LinkJoin?
Yeah, I've had a few of my friends be using it during virtual learning, but most of them are not like me and don't have a bunch of virtual meetings. So it's not the most applicable for them nowadays. But I definitely have some people using it. I've got over 1,000 people signed up, and I've got 100, maybe 150 monthly users.
That's amazing. That's huge. That's huge, right? So when you were developing the app, did you anticipate like one day I'm going to have like 1,000 people using this tool?
When I was first making it, really, no. I was trying to just make a program that would prevent me from being late, then my friends from being late, then other students from being late. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess everyone could benefit from this and could benefit from not being late.
Yeah, definitely. And they say what a great way to develop, and we all say that creativity, creative problem solving, those are really amazing and essential life writing skills. What a great way to develop creative problem solving than like actually solving a problem. And so share with us. So you have developed this amazing tool. I can't wait to sign up. I'm going to ask my children to check it out too. And so what are some, so compared, so you did this thing, so what are some of the skills that you learned besides coding, of course, but what are some additional skills that you have learned as a result of this huge entrepreneurial project?
There are definitely just digital communication skills.
Mm,
Before I did this, reaching out to someone on LinkedIn or sending messages was very scary. I would not know how to do that. I've texted with people, I've sent messages to my friends. I didn't really send professional emails or messages for professional development. So that I've really learned and grown from. I were in a field where I just had no idea what was going on before. My parents are both doctors. They don't have experience in this area. So a lot of it I just had to work out by trial and error and Googling, and also some help from my parents. They have some experience, but not much.
that's awesome. You definitely stay in touch with me. I have a lot of tips to share with you because that is something I talk about with my students all the time. It is such an important skill because when you think about it, as a student, you spend most of your time in school talking to your peers. You don't really talk to people outside your age group. And that, I think, is a big problem. Like, how can you develop your communication skills by only talking to peers? I think it's very, very challenging. So I love that. I agree. Digital communication, a very important skill. So here's a great question from Lance. Join us live from Australia. I mean, like 3 a.m. Thank you, my friend. So how do you monetize? Are you monetizing this yet, or is that part of your plan moving forward? So do you mind sharing with us?
Yeah, so right now the site is not monetized. It is completely free to use, and that is eventually going to change. So for the average person, I want it to still be free to use because I think it's important to have this technology to be available to everyone, regardless of price. So the way I'm thinking of doing it is licensing out the technology, where I will go to a school, a virtual school, or maybe a college or a company, and this technology can be licensed out and set up to work with their students or employees or their faculty, where they'll all be using it and they will be paying to use it. But for individual people, I want it to be mostly free. I may also in the future incorporate a sort of premium where you get, say, 5 or 10 free links before you have to pay. And then I'm also going to put in a referral feature where you can get a friend to sign up for a free month of premium. So you don't have to pay, you just have to get other people to use it.
Mhm. Oh, I love it. It's like a really, really great plan. I think with like online learning, there are so many online schools. I think if you go through that, you can definitely easily find a lot. So are you also thinking about teaching some coding classes to young people like yourself, becoming an online course creator?
I've actually done that. I've done some online Python tutoring for my younger brother's friends. I've taught them some coding and I actually made a website, another website that teaches coding called Explore Python.
share the link. There's a private chat. Share the link with me. I'd love
So
to
that's
share. I'd
explorepython.dev.
love to share the link. I asked you because you just reminds me. I think earlier last year, December last year, I interviewed this young man. He's really into gaming. You are into coding. He's really into gaming, and he developed so many games that got like a million downloads. And so now he started his own online class, teaching other people how to do like gaming. And I actually purchased his class for my own children. It's really fun. Yeah. So do you share the link with me? Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So
I
I
sent
will.
that in the chat. It's just a fun website that I made that teaches Python in a fun, engaging way, where you really learn by doing. It gives you a little lesson on the left, and then on the right, you can write your own code right in the browser and run it, and it'll give you feedback on how your code is.
That's awesome. So I'm going to share the link in the comment section for sure. And this is the website, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, you are just like amazing. So do you actually have? So what's the age group for this class? Is this a class or something? Yeah. Do you have an age group?
It's really for anyone. If you click, it's completely free to use actually right now. If you click get started, it'll just take you right into where you can write the code and it gives you a little lesson. There's no accounts that need to be made. It's just you learn and you write code.
Wow, I'm just like I'm floored. I'm so impressed. It's just amazing. That's amazing. So, what do parents think about what you are doing? All those amazing things outside the classroom. Are they supportive? What do they think?
My parents really like what I'm doing. They're very supportive with LinkJoin. They're very supportive with all my coding, and they try to help me out wherever they can. I think they're actually watching this right now from the other room. I'm pretty sure
I'm
they're.
so hi, Farah. I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed. I love everything you mentioned. This is really really amazing. I can't wait. So, like, where do you see yourself? Maybe not yourself. Where do you see LinkJoy uh, in 3 years?
So I see LinkJoin as becoming sort of a gold standard for organizing and yeah, for organizing virtual meetings and for helping people to be on time. Sort of where to the point where you just make a virtual meeting on Zoom or Google Meets or wherever else, and it would get added to LinkJoin. LinkJoin would just be a part of it, and things would just be built in, integrated. Everything would use LinkJoin to automatically open meetings and organize them so that people are never late again.
Mhm. I love it. And as for yourself, I know you are a freshman, right? Freshman high school. And do you think you will continue on this traditional learning path, meaning that high school, go to college, and eventually find a 9 to 5 job, or like how do you envision your future or career going to unfold?
I think I'll definitely go to college, go through college, and follow that traditional path. But then when it gets to starting a job, I don't know. That's a sort of gray area. I would ideally found a company or something like that, found a technology company, and build from there. But if that fails, or if I just have to work on that in my free time, then I would definitely settle for working at a technology company like Amazon, Google, or something like that, where I can get a pretty high level coding job.
Yeah, I think with your skills, with your passion, and I really don't see anything stopping you from starting your own Google, right? You could even be the next person designing the next Google, right? I feel like you can definitely do that. And I see like you being so hungry for this. This is something that I don't see in many students. So how do your peers respond to this, right? I'm sure there are not many students like you. So how do they wow, Seth, you're just like next level. Like, what do they think about this?
They are pretty much indifferent. I don't have many coding friends at my school or in real life. I have a lot of people that I connect with over the internet where they code, I code, and we can chat on platforms like Discord, which is just a chatting service. But in person, my friends don't really care too much. Occasionally, they'll see like an article about me or something and be like, wow, Seth is in the news. And then that's it.
Oh, it's like okay, that's amazing. I just love students like to you. I call myself a disruptor. I think you are also my fellow disruptor. Redefining new norms. I also want to encourage you. Like some of those classes, like this Python like online class, I think you can even charge people some money, start to make a bit money, see how that goes. Even my 10 years old, he's launching his own online book appreciation society. He's charging $5. He's already so excited about it. So I think, I really support you. I can't wait. If you actually launch a paying class, I will be one of your customers. And my 7 years old, he loves coding. Love to learn from someone like you. So I love this. Like really, really amazing. Really, really this amazing. I can't wait to see where and how far you're going to travel on this journey. So, kind of to going back to what we discussed earlier, how we got started on this journey and this conversation, we're talking about discuss, debate, and disrupt education. So, I want to circle back to education. So, if you could, be a school principal, if you had that magic wand, and what would you like to disrupt and change about the current education model?
So, like I said, that main problem before is just being able to move forward at your own pace, making it easier for students to get access to the classes that they think that they can take, that they know that they can take. Even having like placement tests to get in, that would make more sense than the current system that we have, where you have to be a certain grade level to get in, and they don't let you move ahead or skip prerequisites, even if you already have that prior knowledge. That is really what I would change about education, making it easier for students to advance at their own pace and learn the way that they learn best.
I love that. I mean, that's one of the main reasons I decided to homeschool my own children. I can just tell you to back up what you mentioned now. My 7 years old, he is supposed to be grade one, but he's right now doing second grade math and he's doing first grade literature. And my 10 years old, he's supposed to be fifth grade, but he's doing sixth grade level literature and fifth grade math. But you see how they learn and they have lots of freedom to choose and design their own curriculum. So very nice. But I think as you grow older, you mentioned when you get to the college level, you'll have a lot more freedom. And so, give us, what advice do you have for young people out there, high schoolers, middle school students? They want to be like you. They are really interested in coding. They want to learn more about coding. So, what advice do you have for those people?
I would say if you're thinking of trying to start a website or create a product that you think other people would use, just go for it. When you're this age, when you're young like this, there's no drawback to actually doing it because you aren't supporting yourself. You have your parents hopefully supporting you financially and with a house and everything like that. You don't have to worry about that. And you can just go for it. Try and get your idea out there. And the worst thing that happens is no one notices it. It flops. Oh well. And you try again and again until something works and you find something that people love, that you love, and you move with it from there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so great. The only thing you need to fear is fear itself, right? Just especially at such a young age. I wish I got started younger. And but are you afraid of moving forward? How do you overcome? How a better question? How do you overcome your fear, or do you even just don't have any fear?
There's definitely some anxiety when I'm about to send a big email to someone regarding LinkJoin or regarding anything, where it's like, oh, did I say something right? Did I spell something wrong? What if someone misinterprets this? And you can't do anything about that. There's always going to be that bit of anxiety when you're sending a big email, when you're submitting a big project, and you just have to do it. If you don't, then it's not done, and you'll have to do it at some point. So better to just get it over with, overcome your fear, and send that email.
Amazing. Amazing. As well, I share with my own students, magic happens outside your comfort zone. I truly believe. I truly look at how far, I'm just very impressed by everything. And I think I have a final question I want to ask about LinkedIn. So I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn changed my life. I'm such an advocate of young people being on LinkedIn. We're talking about digital communication skills. So how has being active on LinkedIn changed your life, if at all?
It's gotten LinkJoin out there. It's gotten me amazing connections with people like you, with all these different people that I've been on podcasts with, that I've had interviews with, and with people that have helped to spread the word about LinkJoin, people that have used LinkJoin, people that have been contributing to its success and to mine. So LinkedIn really definitely did change my life. It allowed me to get LinkJoin out there, get connected with people, and helped me to move forward in a way that I don't think I would have been able to without it.
That's amazing. Do you also recommend other high schoolers, young people, especially ambitious, people who have big plans for their life, like you, to also be active on LinkedIn?
Oh, definitely. A lot of my friends, when I've talked about it, are surprised that I'm on LinkedIn. They're like, "You're 14. Why are you on LinkedIn? Thought that was for adults." And I'm like, "Well, it's for professionals, and that's what I'm trying to become."
That's true. And also, like I noticed, correct me if I'm wrong, like most young people are using social media to only passively consume information. And we need more people like you who are actually using social media to spread the message, to create as a producer, as a creator, not just a passive consumer. Did you also notice that among your peers?
Yeah, I think that's definitely true with things like TikTok, with Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. Although I will say on things like Discord, which is a sort of social media, there is a lot of contribution going on there. I'm part of a server called Python Discord, which has like 300,000 members, people that love Python. And I contribute there. I help people out. There's a team of maybe 150 helpers on that server, where we just go and help people with their coding journey and contribute on social media like that. So that's a really good way to do it. Yeah, just getting your ideas and thoughts out there in
Yeah,
whatever it is.
I love it. You see, as a way to advance your careers, right? I think this is a much more powerful way to use social media than just like watching passively consuming TikTok videos. Yeah. Anyway, what a fascinating conversation. I'm just like, I love this so much. So thank you. Any parting piece of advice that you want to share regarding your journey, advice, or link join that you want to share with our listeners and viewers?
Like I said, just go for it. If you've got an idea that you think people would like, get it out there. What have you got to lose?
I love it. Just do it. Just do it. Yes, yes. I love it. Amazing. So I have the website here and I also have your LinkedIn here. Is that the best place for people to connect with you?
Yes, everyone can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to chat with any of you and I'll accept all of your connection requests.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And amazing conversation. Amazing conversation. I love it. And so before I let you go, so I want to do a quick announcement. Next week, I have Dale. This week, I'm super prepared. I know who's coming next week. So I have Dale coming to the show and talking about his journey as a homeschooler. And he's an extremely successful entrepreneur, very, very successful. So talking about his perspective on education and his journey as a homeschooler and how he got to where he is today. So if you are interested in this conversation, definitely come join us live next Friday or Saturday, same time, same location, and make sure you guys are checking out LinkJoin and connecting with Seth on LinkedIn. So thank you so much, everyone, for a great conversation. But Seth, don't leave yet. Okay, I have a LinkedIn tip to share with you. But thank you so much, everyone, and really appreciate you. I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for having me.